Welcome back, sports gamers. It's The Natural. Many of us are wondering what will be the next major leap in gaming. Well, EA is hedging its bets on the future of gaming lying in the cloud, with a major investment in the development of Project Atlas. For those who don't know, cloud gaming refers to games stored on a company server or server somewhere else, like local storage in a console, but it's at a different location. Players access the game by installing a client program that can access the server where the game is actually running. Some companies like Ubisoft and Capcom are utilizing cloud gaming in Japan for games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Resident Evil 7. It seems EA is ready to bring cloud gaming technology to the West in a major way. EA Chief Technology Officer Ken Moss recently had a blog where he stated the Project Atlas is currently being worked on and it's being developed by over 1,000 EA employees. Now, Project Atlas will be able to provide cloud services to all of EA games. Now, Project Atlas is going to work like a multi-layered cake. Your first layer is going to be the game's engine, which will handle things you expect an engine to do. That means lighting, animations, audio, physics, rendering, etc. Now, on top of that is a layer of security, which will do things like authentication and matchmaking and multiplayer. Next will be achievements and social media services like Facebook, Twitter, etc., and streaming options. Now, the frosting on this cloud gaming cake is the game itself and service hosting. Now, EA's goal is to take the Frostbite engine using games like Madden, FIFA, Battlefield, and Anthem and integrate it into Project Atlas. This will take the game and other game attributes like AI into a cloud-optimized development platform. Now, Ken Moss believes this AI will be able to come up with massive, sprawling open worlds that human artists wouldn't be able to create in any ample time. And certainly, it wouldn't be able to keep up with other patches and updates, so it will allow them to make better games ideally. Moss stated, with Project Atlas, we are starting to put the power of AI into the creative's hands. In one example, they're using high quality LiDAR data about real mountain ranges and passing that data through a deep neural network trained to create terrain-based algorithms, and then creating an algorithm which will be available within the platform development toolbox. With this AI-assisted terrain generation, designers will be able to create huge mountain ranges in seconds that would take developers, days to do. So it'll create a more realistic world. Now, EA is hoping that Project Atlas will allow them to break the mold of gaming and remove current limitations of game systems. This could allow for almost limitless world where thousands of players compete on a single map. Moss mentioned that he wants Project Atlas to be secure and make sure that user privacy is handled correctly. Another thing he really touched upon was the capabilities that exist currently but are too hard to use. Real huge thing that's a problem in many games, especially sports games, is AI. Now, using the power of the cloud, they can leverage AI and machine learning to give game makers the ability to craft in-game interactions with non-playable characters, NPCs, that will be virtually indecipherable from human interaction. So instead of a pre-scripted pattern-based logic for NPC behavior, now they have the ability for AI to engage in a way that's dynamic and believable. For example, he gives an example that if you're playing Madden, you just throw your second interception of the game against the same cover 2 defense that caused the first turnover. Instead of a commentator simply stating that you threw a pick, this AI will enable contextual real-time commentary to reference the fact you're throwing to a sideline against a cover 2 defense and should have thrown against a weak zone over the middle or to your tight end who was open on the route. This will certainly push the game to a greater level of contextual experimental realism. The AI is working with your gameplay, it's responding to your needs as a player. Everyone knows one of the weaknesses of Madden, and not just EA games, but games in general, especially sports games, is AI. Many of our things have made a leap as far as graphics are much better than last gen. Lighting is better, a lot of effects are better, but the AI just seems to be lagging behind the computer, especially if you're playing against a computer. It's even more noticeable. They, make stupid plays or they cheat in a way where you can tell they basically just know what you're calling. That's why they would have called the right thing. They're not thinking like an actual player. So in the future, Utilizing something like the cloud and Project Atlas with neural networks, it will allow for more intelligent, believable AI, where you get to the point where you're playing as a CPU and it feels like you're playing an online game against an actual person who's understanding what you're doing and trying to, combat it or stop it. Now, you have to, a certain line, you have to be smart. You don't want the AI to be so smart where, the game is just, not even really enjoyable at all, where they're totally destroying you or whatever. So it has to be a balance to it, but I think if they can find that good balance where the AI is challenging in a believable and smart way, it's gonna make their game so much better across the board. All their sports games, even their shooters, Battlefield, all that, when you can actually have non-player characters, which you can't even tell that you're playing an online game. You think you're playing against people, but it's actually will be AI bots. So I think that'll be a huge jump for gaming. They can accomplish that. One important note, that he did reveal that for the release date, he did not reveal the release date of Project Atlas, as the project is still in development. But the idea of playing a Madden title, versus full computer AI that actually seems like a real person is awesome to me. That's one of the reasons why I don't play versus the CPU, because it's just not fun, and it's not like playing against a real thinking person. So that'd be a huge leap if they can actually do that. So what do you guys think of Project Atlas? I think not just as far as EA, but just cloud gaming is really the next step in the future. I think at some point we're not even going to have consoles anymore. We're just going to have monitors, connecting to a modem that connects, to the cloud, that has more power. But I think that's going to be a huge jump in fidelity. The biggest problem with that will be our own internet connections, which only be the only limitation. If we can have a big enough pipeline and have a good internet connection where they can, get back to the cloud and they can process. I mean, think of the power, the amount of servers, the amount of processing power they can have at a centralized server location that we just can't just fit in a little console box. I think that's really the next step in gaming. What do you guys think there? Do you believe that cloud gaming is the future? Do you think Project Atlas will take EA's games to a next level, or a level that we've all been looking for? So AI can make the jump that the graphics, other stuff have made the jump in? What are your thoughts on basically, not even having consoles anymore? Having games with graphic fidelity like Madden on your phone, where everything is processed in the cloud. So let me know your thoughts on this. I think this can be huge if done right. They've got a ton of people working on this. If it turns out, great, I hope it does. I think it'll be a big thing for all games across the board, and not just sports games, but Anthem, Battlefield, all those games can really benefit from this. So let me know what you guys think. And of course, if you did like the video, make sure you drop a like, and I'll have more updates on this as we get more information. Subscribe, turn the notifications on so you don't miss any of our videos here. SGO, this is The Natural. I'm out.
Get the back, you don't know what's going on with me. I just talk that shit till I'm buried underneath, 6 feet deep in the earth, and they saying rest in peace. How could you compare me to them? I don't bleed.